Omotola Abimbola joins me now. He's an investment analyst with AfriInvest as we take a look at developments in the fixed income market. Good morning to you, Omotola. Thank you for joining me on the program.
Hi, good morning, Harriet.
So, of course, it's the last official trading day for the month of June and indeed the first half of the year. Let's quickly preview, what this the first half has been like for the fixed income market.
Okay, it's been a very volatile first half of the year. We entered the year at ER to 12%, and of course, monetary policy was a little bit easy at the start of the year. But during the course of the first half of the year, we had a change in monetary policy when the CBN started tracking inflation rates as a basis for making monetary policy. So that had a number of impacts on fixed income trading sentiment, and of course the yields and rates that fixed income instruments were issued at the primary market, both for the T-bills and the bonds as well. So that's why for now we are seeing that yields are a little bit up relative to what we saw at the start of the year.
Yeah, but even yesterday now, talking about midweek trade at the fixed income segment market, we saw, bullish investments of trading towards Nigerian Treasury bills and FGM bonds. Of course, conversations with you earlier in the day actually, steered in that particular direction.
Yeah, correct. My business yesterday was that we had the FARC inflow, which in a way is the liquidity challenge we are seeing in the money market. So with the ease in the liquidity stream we are seeing, we saw that sentiments remained broadly bullish, both at the T-bill segment and the bond segment as well. However, going forward, it is expected that the CBN might likely float another OMO auction, because right now the CBN is trying as much as possible to curb liquidity growth in the system in a way to reduce the pressure on the foreign exchange markets. But then there is still a trade-off to that as well. If you are seeing the CBN mopping up liquidity so much, that's going to have an impact on monetary policy and credit growth of banks, so which could affect GDP growth as well. So for the CBN, they need to maintain a very right balance. Like the initial guest you had on the show said, maybe this is not the time to start tightening monetary policy aggressively yet. So maybe they should probably focus less on inflation targeting and rather maintain the current trajectory they have on.
But Omotola, let's talk a little bit about the Debt Management Office calendar for the third quarter of the year. They actually issued that yesterday. So they plan to raise about between 305 and 395 billion naira in the third quarter in local currency denominated bonds for the third quarter of the year. Give us your thoughts on this.
Correct. The DMO is trying to raise as much fund as possible to finance the government deficits for the 2016 fiscal year. But then, what is going to affect the sentiment of investors towards these instruments, both for the domestic players and the foreign players, will be the monetary policy expectation. For anybody who wants to bid at the primary market auction, needs to know the trajectory of monetary policy. So to a very large extent, the CBN needs to be very clear to the market and explain or give a forward guidance on what will be guiding their future decision. Is it going to be inflation? Is it going to be growth? So if the markets can have a very good sense of this, then uncertainty regarding monetary policy will be reduced, and sentiment for the bills and bonds that will be auctioned at the primary market segments will be very, very good. And secondly, the foreign exchange market mechanism needs to work efficiently as well, so we can start having FDI influence with the economy. It's going to take up a huge portion of this instrument that will be issued at the PMA. Traditionally, Nigeria's fixed income markets is mainly dominated by domestic players, but at the moment when we actually need effects in the economy to drive growth and finance fiscal deficit and current account deficits, it is very important that monetary policy and fiscal policy have to function very well and reduce the uncertainty in the overall economy, so that the appetite for the instrument that will be auctioned would be very, very good, and maybe solve some other growth challenges we are seeing in the economy.
I was just actually going to ask you that. How do you think investors will play in terms of, do you expect to see an oversubscription for the bonds that will actually be auctioned by the DMO for this next quarter?
There would be oversubscription at all the auctions. I can guarantee that, because number one, for the major buyers of fixed income securities in Nigeria, they are domestic investors. They are the likes of pension funds, who by regulation are mandated to actually buy these instruments. There are banks as well, who at the moment are in a period of risk-off investing. They don't want to put their hands into credit, so they probably snap up all these instruments. But then, for the government, it will be important for them to issue these instruments at very good rates to reduce their debt servicing burden. And for them to be able to issue them at very good rates, their policy mechanism needs to work efficiently, so that uncertainty in the economy will reduce, and we can see sentiments regarding the economy and the financial markets improve as well.
Omotola, thank you so much for joining me on the program this morning and sharing your perspectives with us. Well, that's it on Business Morning for today. Many thanks for spending time with us. And just to quickly remind you that if you want to watch this program again, you can go to our website, youtube.com/channelsweb/Business Morning. So you can watch this program again and you can leave your comments. And you can also tweet at BizMorning and at Channels TV to continue the conversation with us. And you can tweet at me. I'm at CTV Harriet. Abibotin will also be glad to mind your business. Don't forget to leave us a comment and, of course, questions with regards to any of the topics that we've talked about here on the program this morning. I'm Harriet Agbeni. Have a profitable day.